G'day, mate, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, JD. So, we're starting a new series, obviously. And you should note this guy right here. He's important. He's important. He'll come up later. So, as always, I tend to skip one whole Oxygen Not Included update every now and then. And the last update, we didn't get time. Let's be honest. We didn't get time to run a series on it. I just done the last 3 updates in a row, and the base, as you saw, just died towards the end because too many updates, things no longer worked. So we skipped the rocketry update, and we're into the space industry update. Now, this series is going to be different. We're going to run a survival series. So this was included in the last update. Survival is the same as we've been playing for a long time. The no sweat is it's I wouldn't call it an easy mode. Okay, I would call it an easy mode. It's an easy mode. All right. They don't need to eat as much. They don't get stressed as much. Germs are way easy. You can almost ignore them. You can almost ignore them as is normally. So we're going to do a survival. We're going to do a custom game just so you guys can see the world gen seed. This is the seed we're using. And we're just going to start the game. Start the game, and then I might have to cut the video here whilst I play Find Decent Dupes, because that's still yeah. Now, this particular playthrough. So, this is going to be different. Firstly, we're going to call it the optimistic colony, because we're going to be optimistic that we can make it all the way through. All the way through to late game. I really, really, really want to get into the rockets. I really want to launch to other planets, because the last update had 4 planets. This one's got 20 from what I've seen. There's been a lot of changes in the last 2 updates. But every single base so far, there's been a you can only build so far. You can only build so far before I'll take you. Before things start to fall apart, basically. We want either +2 farming or +2 creativity. That's fine. That's fine. Actually, I'll take those 3. Okay. So, okay. As I was saying, every update, you can only build so far before lag sets in really, really bad. Now, I have had a PC upgrade between the last series and this series, so hopefully that doesn't affect me as much. But you're still going to have an issue where the game engine, and this is what Clay are now doing now, they're now optimizing the game engine a lot more with each update rather than adding more content. So hopefully we can build bigger. But to get around that, one of the differences in this one is I'm going to use the debug mode. And I'm going to be completely honest when I'm using it. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing or what I've done, because I will sometimes do it off camera. Because I have a feeling this series will actually be streamed over at Twitch. And then I'm hoping to edit the episodes down to actually put them up on YouTube. Because we all know with Oxygen Not Included, for 2 hours, you might spend, of that 2 hours, a lot of it just watching dupes run around in circles. I know that, you know that, so it is what it is. So this will be mainly streamed over at Twitch, and then the episodes will be cut down for shorter videos on YouTube. And as for our Kerbins, we're okay. So we're gonna go. You're a builder Kerbin. A builder dupe. So we're gonna call you Jebediah. You're a researcher. So we're going to call you Bill. I think people might know where we're going with this one. And you're the creative one, and you actually happen to be female. So we're going to call you Valentina, I think. I think you're female. I think you're female. Nobody can tell still. So this says she. But they always. So this one's definitely a female. This one's definitely an it. And this is a he. But Bill in good old Kerbal Space Program is from memory, and by all means in the comments correct me if I'm wrong. Bill from memory is the scientist. But yeah, we're gonna go optimistic colony, embark. Now the other thing different about this series is I am going to attempt to make this much more tutorialized. So we're gonna pause. And we need copper quickly. So we're going to dig left a lot. And we're going to crank the speed up so they can start actually building things. Let me think. So we're going to come... We want copper. So copper's here and here. So we're not going to get copper from down there, but we do need to dig down a certain amount. Yeah, still can't build in straight lines. That's 4. That's 4. So we're going to put the bathroom down there. Plumbing. Nope. Medical. Wash basin. 2 wash basins. We also need to... It's probably easier to dig in this way. To do plumbing, pitcher pump in there. Of that construction, we really don't need to go past there at this stage. We will need to go up. That'll all have to go. I hear volcanoes already. This is not a good start. Or it's a really, really good start. All depends on how you look at it. Okay, so we want to get wash basins as fast as possible. Oh, and the other thing we want to do is we want to change their schedules. So we want 2 new schedules. We want to put Bill on that one. Valentina on that one. We want to slide everything over. Downtime 2. Bedtime 1, 2, 3. Work time 1, 2, 3, 4. Bedtime. Downtime 1, 2. Bedtime 1, 2, 3. Yeah, with a bath time at the front. Except we're gonna do that for day 1. So I'm going to have to come back here and change it for Valentina. And actually, I can make the Bill Kerman's, because he had the narcoleptic trait, I can actually cut down on his bedtime. I actually think I can turn bedtime off almost. So we got, that becomes bedtime. We need 3 bedtimes. Done. Need to dig that out. Oh, and the other thing, priority is I want all this higher. I really want this high, and I want that super high. Okay. Scheduling. What is it? Bath time. Done. Okay, we're going to try that out. See, we want to get the basins in. We want them filled with water, with liquid, obviously. We want you to install everything. And of course we want you to actually put stuff in there as well. Obviously. Oh, hatches already. Okay, so hatches are going to cause a problem. They're going to eat stuff, and Yeah, there's no easy answer what we do with them just at the moment. Okay, early game. Early game, the only material we have access to is sandstone. Early game, we're going to want to clear out that sandstone. As we're going to have to use the sandstone, and then we're going to have to come back later, and we're also going to have to recover all our sandstone, because sandstone is actually a very, very good insulator, and we will end up using it here, there, and everywhere around the base. We're going to up the priority on these because we actually want them full. We're going to hit this pocket of air so we can come into the base, because that's going to be important early game. And we also want to hit this pocket of air. Same story, we want this in the base. I also need to... I need what's known as a carbon dioxide sink. So, same story, I want to dig this down to access this area. And I want to dig out all that copper. Plumbing, needing outhouse. Again, priority 6 because I need this done today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's too late. I need these outhouses in and placed, so they have somewhere to go to the bathroom. Otherwise, we're going to have accidents. We're going to have accidents here, there, and everywhere. Priority 6. Bill's already having a nap. Now, because we're very messed with the schedules, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Alright, well, actually, I do know what's going to happen. Not everybody's going to sleep at the same time. The other thing I always do is I turn the disinfect up to 20,000 germs, which is a little bit risky, but I really don't want the dupes spending all the time getting rid of germs. Like, you know, these have got 20,000 germs, by all means, like, clean them out. But if they've got less than that, just let it go. Okay, the main reason we need copper is we need to be able to put doors in on things. Again, I want to up the priority on those, because we need our room bonuses. We need a washroom. So it's got a maximum of 64 tiles. If things are 4 tiles high, they can be 8 tiles long. So we bring out our universal measuring tool, which is under furniture, cot, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be the length of a room. Come in here, and we're going to tile in. Again, probably a 6 because we want this done fairly quickly. We're going to need to dig out those 2 so we've got access, and then we're going to put in a door, and that'll make it a room. I'm going to get rid of these. These don't actually need to be here. We're digging up this copper here. The muck root needs to be harvested. That's something else we're going to do. Priority 9. We're going to enable harvesting for everything we can see on the map. I'm going to have to keep coming back as we find more of the map and doing this over and over. And we want priority 9, so if it's ready to be harvested, somebody comes and does it straight away. Alright, so we've got basic things running. Harvest, 9, missed that one. So because I've gone through and enabled harvesting, they're busy harvesting everything that that they can at the moment. Oh, really? You idiots. Mistake number 1. Jebediah is suffocating. We had the room bonus for half a second. Alright, put that tile back. Priority 6 so it actually gets done. Okay, and straight away you can see all our carbon dioxide is starting to fall down into this area. This that we unblocked from that area will flow out. It'll flow down our CO2 well and fall into this area. We do need to expand out this wall. So there's a bit more room for air to flow. And this wall as well. We need a bit more room for things to move. Same thing will happen here. This carbon dioxide will fall down and fall down here. And that'll just keep happening over and over. Okay. We need to have a bedroom. Now, with my countless hours of Oxygen Not Included experience, I've decided this time around I want to do things slightly differently. Alright? Can't do it just yet. But in a little while later on, we will start changing around the way our rooms work. I do want to have like a sort of pattern to the base, but I also want to have sections like this. So I want to have in here, rather than having a room, I want to have it like a corridor for running utilities. I really want utility corridors in this one, because every single base so far, I've had pipes running here, there, and everywhere. So, going to try and change things up and have whole dedicated utility corridors that just span along the map, right, left and right, along with up and down, where we can run power, we can run liquids, we can run this, we can run that, and keep it away from the duplicates and not affect their decor, the decor settings. But okay, our next thing that we desperately need is we're desperately going to need a bedroom, because they're going to start getting grumpy that they've got nowhere to sleep. We want a tile in there. Same story as before. We want furniture. We want a cot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because if we come in here, we have a bedroom at 64 tiles again. So that is 4 by 8, gives us 64 tiles. Same as this one. It is a washroom. Because we can't get a latrine until we get a toilet and a wash station. Alright, we just have a toilet with... No, we've got a latrine so far. A washroom gives us the higher morale boost, but we need a flushable toilet, a plumbed wash station, and no outhouses. So we need to upgrade this one as soon as we can, which requires plumbing and all sorts of things, which is a while away yet. So we want to put in tiles, put in a couple of doors as well, and the reason I use double doors is for airflow. And then you know what? We're going to be lazy, we're just going to dig that out. So that's what we want in there. But I'm going to be a little bit creative about how I dig this, because I do not want to dig up the oxalite, because when I do, every single tile we dig up, so this has got 700 kilos of sandstone. When I dig that up, it halves the amount. So I go from 702 kilos to 351 kilos of raw material. So obviously oxalite, which produces this one. Unpause it, there we go. Oh, no, it won't. As soon as I pause it, sets to 0 because we're currently in a pause state. But this is 25 kilos worth, and it will produce... hang on. Ox... How do you spell it? O-X-Y-L-I-T-E. Oxalite, solid. Evacuating oxalite increases emission rate but depletes the oil more rapidly. Okay, maybe it's changed. But to my knowledge, if I dig this up, it's going to halve. So we're going to go from 24 kilos down to 12.5 kilos, and it produces 24 kilos worth of oxygen, 47 kilos, 200 kilos, 185 kilos. So it's going to produce oxygen. And obviously we want as much oxygen as possible, because at the moment we're basically surviving off oxalite and pockets of oxygen that we dig to, which at the moment is nothing. We have no actual oxygen that we can dig to keep our duplicates alive. So this is going to make this map a little bit more challenging. We need to dig that out as well. And we need to plan out our bedrooms, furniture, cots. So one there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I want room for 4 duplicates, because we're going to have 4 sooner or later. We're going to dig out that one tile. And check the priority on that. It's all set to 5. This is set to 4, so it's when they get to its situation. And unpause. Go! Go, duplicates. The other thing we actually need with some pressing haste is we need to be able to start research. Priority 6. We want a research station. We want a manual generator, because again, that's going to be important. We want some wire hooking the 2 up, with some batteries on this side, again with some wire. Done. And the reason I always put the research station beside the printing press is if we come over to our decor overlay, there is a positive decor off the printing pod. Both the fact that it's a printing pod and that it has a light burner, which is potentially very, very, very important. Because you're going to have duplicates standing here and running on the wheel for a very, very long periods of time. It's now day 2, and again, they have nowhere to sleep. So, yeah. Alright, research. We want lots of things. Okay, we're going to want basic farming, because that'll give us the algae terrarium, which will allow us to start producing oxygen. That's going to be our very, very first thing that we need to get done very, very quickly. And then we can start looking through what our other options are. As you can see, again, as said, tutorial series, so, you know, there's going to be a bit of going back and forth and covering things that we've already covered in previous series. But with this latest update, only at tier 3 do we actually have both novice research and advanced research. So we can actually get through a lot more research now with just the basic research station. And again, I want to up the priority on that. I want to... They're charged enough. Unfortunately, they do lose power. And priorities. We had a Bill who liked to learn. So we're going to give Bill a high priority. The other thing we want to set to is we want to set combat very high. We want to set life support items very high. We want to set toggle very high. So if we need to go into combat, I want everybody to come rushing. If we have to... Anything that has to do with life support is really important. We need to come do it. Toggle priority. So this is stuff like opening and closing these doors. Alright, we want, again, those very, very high priority. Care, again, we want high priority. Everything else can sort of stay as is. We will set art to very low for new duplicates. We do have Valentine as the creative one. So we're actually going to move the priority up for Valentine. Research, again, very low. Except we will up the priority for Bill. Actually, we'll set Bill for very, very high. That's pretty much as we're going to leave it. Supply, we also want high. So if things need supplying, we want dupes to be a little bit more motivated to go do those things. There we go. We've built a cross. We need to put in some ground tiles. And that counts as toggle. So because it's still at priority 5, these items are priority 5, they are the same priority. But because I've manually set toggle to be important, it does tend to get ticked up a little bit higher. Valentine. Yeah, off the generator, come do this stuff. We want all these beds up and running because we've got a new duplicate in 21 seconds. And really, I'd like somebody who I could call Bolt. Alright. Choose a new duplicate. Okay, so we've got a small bladder trait and a small bladder trait. So they're going to need to go to the bathroom more often. We have Gemma resistant, which is always great. We have Diver's lungs, which is also great because they need less oxygen. We have a night owl, so they tend to need to sleep less, and they'll actually stay up a little bit during their sleep cycle. But they're also narcoleptic, which pretty much means that I'd automatically give them less of a sleep cycle, and then they'd stay up partially during it. So that could be a really, really bad combination. We have a farming trait and a farming trait. No interests in anything. So interests affect how faster they will master a job. And ideally, I want farming with a farming trait so they master farming faster. It doesn't really matter if they don't, because at the end of the day, I will force them to go through all of farming so they become good at that trait. And it just means they're going to take longer to get each level of mastery. It's not too much of an issue, because as they level up through the jobs board that we can't see yet, their stress levels go higher, because they're same as the CEOs of companies. CEOs of companies have, they are what they are. They have high stress levels, so therefore they have all the best toys to bring their stress levels down, or something like that. As they get promoted, they want better and better toys and better perks to keep their stress levels down, and there's no guarantee that we can actually get that stuff built fast enough for them. So interest doesn't really matter now. Late game, when you have all that infrastructure there, interests are very, very important, because you want them to fully master jobs as fast as possible. So we're probably going to go with good old Meep. And because Meep is called Meep, we won't rename Meep. Yeah, Meep is special. Meep is one of those names that have just stuck with the series right from square one. So we're going to bring in a Meep, who I forget already. Farming and construction and cooking. But you have no interest in cooking. But you do have interest in building. So we're probably going to run Meep into build higher priority. Done. Alright, close that out. Off we go. We're going to set that to open. We're going to dig up that one tile. And we're also going to priority 5 break into this carbon dioxide room, so it can drop its CO2 down into the rest of the base. I'm going to dig that out. I'm going to dig that out. I'm going to dig that out. Again, they're set lower priority. Really, we're going to be held up by research. And I didn't fully cover it, but I built double doors to allow better ventilation left and right. Because we don't have airflow tiles at the moment, so anytime I put a tile in, it blocks the air moving back and forth. So, why are you doing... Oh, you're socializing. I thought you're standing around doing nothing. That can't be good. Okay, we're going to dig out... What are we going to do? I don't know. But this episode's probably been just about long enough. Whoops. Clicked off the screen. New duplicates will automatically get added to the first schedule, which is perfectly fine for now. I will end up moving people around from schedule to schedule to schedule. Our stress is still really, really low, which is good. Our food is okay. But we do need to get a move on the whole food thing, along with, research. Research is going to be our first really big hurdle that we need to cover very, very quickly. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here for the first episode. Thank you guys for watching. I do hope you're going to enjoy this series. And being that it's the start of a new series, I really encourage you guys to like it, share it, tell your friends, do all that sort of cool stuff, because it's the first episode. And this is an important part, If people are going to jump onto a series, this is the point where they really should keep a track of the series from this point on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Do hope you enjoy, and I will catch up with you guys in the next one. All right.